right, so we're on the way to my favorite flea market in Turlock, California. It's a local one. Has a ton of awesome stuff. All right, let's do this. Probably not gonna be great. It's gonna be hot today. I know a lot of people, but we'll see. All right, so I'm gonna be doing a little commentary over this. I didn't really talk during the going through the flea market because, you know, just talking to yourself to camera, a little weird at a flea market. People give you a little side eye. Oh, look at that. Some picture of a white guy. But yeah, so this is my flea market. It's in the middle of nowhere. We've got some Star Wars stuff there. There'll be plenty of that. Don't you worry. Vampire Knight. That is an anime I think my wife watched for like a little bit. Definitely not my thing. We got some cards here. Sadly, baseball cards, sports cards, wrestling cards. But when it comes to Magic cards, anytime you see sports cards, you can pretty much rule out there's going to be any Magic cards in them. I don't know why. I mean, I kind of know why, but it just happens that way. You'll look through all the sports cards and be like, yep, there was literally nothing here I'm interested in. So that's what happened here. Then we got some more baseball cards you see there. We got these little old school kids books, Lassie and stuff. You know, I like to look at that old stuff for nostalgia factors. Just like, oh yeah, this is cool. Maybe I'll buy this. Probably not. Got some Star Trek books, right? I mean, I love Star Trek, don't get me wrong, but I'm never going to read a Star Trek novel. Sorry. Just get it from the show, games, whatever. Just, I on Craigslist one time, someone was giving away a ton of Star Trek books and my friends picked it up and it's pretty sweet. There's like so many things. This guy actually, he sometimes has some cool stuff. A lot of stuff I'm like, oh, that's cool, but I don't really want to buy it. Like that train, that's cool. I don't want to buy it though. And then he has this awesome Star Trek Next Generation trivia game, which I passed on here, but a few weeks later, he put it in this pile of things for $1. So I picked it up then, along with a Domino Rally set. And I was like, hell yeah, because I kind of collect Domino Rally stuff. I have a lot of it. This is 12-year-old Brian here laughing to himself about Nut Brown. Because, yeah, that's me. Here we got the Shadow, because we all know the Shadow knows the heart that dwells in men's hearts or something. I don't know what it is. But, yeah, I watched that movie a lot when I was younger. Still not going to buy the toy, though, because they made Shadow toys. What can you say? This guy is crazy. This lot is always packed because he just gets trucks fulls of storage units, I think, and just unpacks them here. And he has so many random things. Just like one time I got some packs of a card game called 7th Sea, I think it was. It was an old Wizards of the Coast game that is now defunct because they pretty much killed it. But yeah, like people will come anytime they take a bag or something off the truck. It's just like a pack of hyenas just going at a deer or something like that. Hyenas and deer, are they together? No. But yeah, one time I got a Legend of Zelda shield, like a cosplay shield or something. I don't know if it was official. Two people ahead of me asked how much it was, and they said $45. I asked him, he said 15. I was like, hell yeah. And then apparently I never even noticed that giant Chinese gong there because I was too busy looking at underground ska. Here we have some old board games. I always like to look through the board games just because you never know what you might find. A lot of times it's just like Monopoly and, you know, junk like that. Sorry. But I have found like a Power Grid and what was it? Some game where you're monks in a cathedral trying to solve a murder for all very cheap. Here we have a barrel of monkeys, and I thought that was weird because it's in a box, not a barrel, but okay, whatever. Maybe it's like a special edition or something. All right, here, I like to look at, you know, a lot of unmarked boxes because a lot of times, you know, there might be something cool in there. Most of the time it's junk, but you never know. And this guy, his booth's pretty cool because he gets just a bunch of random stuff like the other guy from probably storage units. But I've gotten D&D books from him. I got some Star Trek ornaments last time I went. They were like $2 each, which is crazy good. Here he has some magazines. I like to look through the magazines because you never know what you'll find. One time there was a booth and they had a ton, like a whole collection of the old Dragon magazine for like D&D. I got a few of them then, but I was broke, so I couldn't buy that many. But I have also got a Grateful Dead print from him. And I'm not a Deadhead or anything, but I love old rock art and stuff. like Chuck Speary.
Looking for anything particular?
Magic cards, but I saw the cards and baseball.
I magic cards.
Yeah.
I have a nephew. He loves. Every time I get some, I give him.
Yeah, right. Thanks.
Here we have one of the times someone's asking me, like, you know, what are you looking for? And I say magic cards, and they're like, oh, yeah, I totally know about those. Come back next week or something. Usually they say, this guy just says, you know, my nephew plays that. Like I said, magazines. We got some old anime magazines. This person, they had Inquest one time, so I was looking for that. I like anime, we'll say. I don't love it, but I'm not really into like old school anime, like, you know, the Robotechs and stuff like that. It's just like, okay, yeah, I used to watch it on the Sci-Fi Channel, like, what was it, Project A-ko and stuff, 8 Afterman when it was on, but I was never really into it. More into the new stuff now, My Hero Academia, right? But yeah, so I kind of passed on these. Even though they were cool looking, I had a feeling they're probably going to be way too much. Like, that's the thing I say, like, how much would this have to be for me to actually want to buy it? And it's usually less than I'm guessing they're going to charge. Like, I'd be like, oh, if these are $1 each, sure, but they're not going to be $1 each. They're probably going to be like $5 to $10 each. Here we have this video game card. Don't know what that is. Just says Tim on the back. I don't know. Some kid just wanted some video games on a card. That was his, I guess. Who knows? Oh, here you go. You got a whole little thing of Star Wars toys. I pass on because I already have my own box full of Star Wars toys. Those things were so overproduced. They're not really worth anything. I mean, I think some of them are, but most of the time, people can say Star Wars, charge you a ton, and then it's going to be worth not that much. And most of the time, people look it up on eBay, so. Here we just got a bunch of random things. More Star Wars, like I said. Ton of Star Wars going on. Movies coming out. People are hyped, I guess. People just trying to get rid of whatever Star Wars stuff they have. Tools. Always pass on tools. Lots of tools at these things. Oh, and look at that. We have ourselves some magic cards. That's right. So, I very surprisingly found some actual magic cards. Once in a great while, I find them. So anytime I do, I'm like, I gotta snatch these up. I always look through, because if it's just a bunch of commons and forget it, I'll pass no matter what. I've had things where they're like, oh, here's a big pile. And I look through, I'm like, these are just janky commons, so I'm good. I'm going to just say no matter the price. Because guess what? I have way too many commons. Don't need any more. So yeah, like to look through a little bit. Like I saw there, a rare. Okay, so we have a rare. Can I find another one? Maybe. Finding some uncommons. That's cool. But we're going to definitely have to talk down this price some, because I'm sure it's going to be way more than I want to pay.
Excuse me. How much for your magic cards over there?
$10 for all of it.
We do 5?
7.
7? Okay, I'll do 7.
All right, there we go. So I want 5 because I feel like at 5, after seeing that, can't go wrong. I mean, even if it's a bunch of commons, you only spent $5. You want 10? That was too much, because I at least want something like a good like rare or something in there. But 7, sure, why not? Like, it's for the channel, but probably gonna just, you know, not do too great on this random buy. But still, it was fun. What's nice about flea markets is there's a lot of stuff here. So it's like a little bit of something for everyone, but a lot of times you're not going to find exactly what you want. This booth, oh man, not to throw any shade at anyone, but this guy is an a-hole. I don't like this guy. He's just super rude to everybody. He thinks everything he has is worth like a ton of money. He had Pokemon cards one time, and I was like, oh, how much for each? He's like, $5 each. And he like didn't know anything about him. He was like, hey, that whole binder there, I get like $5,000. I'm like, come on, dude. No, you can't. Why are you even doing this? Yeah. One time he was like, $1 for all this stuff. Dollar. Like, you know, all the town flea markets do. And there were some train tracks for like a train I have for Christmas. And I was like, oh, okay. How much for these? $1 for each track. I was like, really? There's like 17 tracks here. I'm not paying $17 for these tracks that you can't sell to anyone else pretty much. So I was like, whatever. And of course, he was rude about it. Here, we got some more cards, baseball cards, some postcards, some random mail. I don't know. As a postman, a little weird. Definitely saw some long boxes there. Don't worry, we'll get back to them. First, here we have some old instruction manuals for like Atari and television games, I think. I was hoping maybe there'd be actually some games in there, but no, just hear this guy, he's kind of a conspiracy theorist.
They're doing it on purpose because they're trying to destroy the America from within.
Or a while ago, he was talking about 9/11 and the Challenger. I was like, oh boy, this guy's crazy. Yeah, bunch of comic books. I don't really collect single issues anymore. I got rid of my collection. I kept like, you know, a few ones that I really like and stuff. But it's just getting too expensive. They take up so much room. I like to just stick with graphic novels. But I'll look through comics just maybe to find something good once in a while. One time I found a Preacher #1, which was very cool. I think I paid like $2 for it. So that was awesome. Like there, Flash #2, that could have been cool. But I don't know. It's all newer stuff. You gotta really know what you're looking for the newer stuff for it to be worth anything. And I, like I said, don't really read anymore. So I don't really know. I would basically just be like, hey, whatever's the #1, just take it. Because that's what you do as a default. Invincible, good comic. These are all like in the high issues. Got the old 90s glossy foil prints, like, oh, Generation X, remember that? Batman Robin, amazing comic book. Grant Morrison knows how to start a comic book, doesn't know how to end them. It's the Stephen King of comics. Oh, Pokemon, I don't know what that was. Just instruction manual for something. More Star Trek. It's a cell from, looks like a Borg episode. Something you're like, I'm like, oh, well, I like Star Trek, but I don't need this. My wife has very much got me to look at things and be like, do I really need this? Because we have a lot of stuff. Well, I have a lot of stuff and don't need much more. So I try to just get whatever I like, feel like, oh, I need this, or this is something I can't pass up because it's a great deal and that's really cool. There's always a ton of loose toys everywhere. I remember when I was little, I used to love looking through the loose toys. I used to buy so many loose toys. I remember getting like G.I. Joe vehicles and stuff that were freaking amazing. Transformers. That freaking, it's like an alarm clock that sounds like an annoying cat, and that guy could not turn off. It was driving him crazy, I think. This is a combo tube TV and VCR. Like, wow, the most outdated thing. Like, I think I remember those in school, but that one just looks super old. An old Super Nintendo there. Once again, made me think, how much am I willing to pay for that? And how much do you think they'll charge? I was like, I'd buy that for $20, but for 80, not so much. This guy, he had a lot of cool stuff. I don't think I've ever seen him there again, but it had some stuff I was like, oh yeah, I'm interested in a lot of these things. I'm not going to buy them. Like, Yeti Eats Alien. Some kind of card game. I don't know. That sounds kind of weird. The Star Trek card game, which is awesome, but it's also just the starter decks, and they're all pretty much the same. It was fun, but, you know, with starter decks, what are you going to do? Just, here we have some old Atari games. I don't have an Atari, so can't do anything about that. It's fun to look through, though. What I love about old video games is you look through and it's just all old sports games or, like, gambling games or just random stuff. Here we have some old story records and LPs I used to buy. Like, I used to get the vinyl and stuff and go through it for like a long time, but it just takes up too much room. I don't really listen to it that much. So I was like, I gotta stop buying these. Though I did get a few good things. I just wasn't really worth it to me. Here are some old Hollywood gift cards. Hollywood video gift cards. Represent Courtney Pong. Here we have a D&D adventure, I'm guessing, but it's for 4th edition, so gross. Get out of here. No one liked 4th edition. I think I played it once, and all my friends hated it. Because, I don't know what that was. We got some old anime mouse pads, like tiny mouse pads. Yeah, some cool stuff there. Some more Star Wars toys. Like I said, overproduced. Not gonna worth anything. Got some old baseball cards. Get some old in-box video games, which is pretty cool. Computer games, but I can't play them. I have a Mac. But, you know, nostalgia. Loved Homeworld when I was younger. Game was crazy. Some old Indiana Jones Chronicles cards. I don't know. Like, why? They really made cards for, like, anything back then, didn't they? Just like any TV show got its own card set. So weird. So weird. This booth can have some interesting things. It's basically just like they take a bunch of bags of things, just dump it all over the floor. So you really have to search. And I don't like digging through a bunch of stuff to try and find what I want. It's just kind of gross because everything's so dirty. But yeah, I found a few good things here before. That's where I found that board game about the monks. And oh, this wine. Oh, get it? Women drink wine. They love it. But yeah, see, board games. Like I said, one time I found the monk one there, and I found a Gundam model, which not really into Gundams, but I'll take a model. Sure, why not? Then we got some Star Wars stuff. By the way, people are saying that there's too much Star Wars products. Like now, like, oh, there's so many. It's on everything. Star Wars was on a lot of crap back then, too. The only problem was it was on kid stuff back then. An old Moses action figure there. More Star Wars, Return of the Jedi, some games. Book about flight in Star Wars. It's all magic. Oh, these toys. My mom used to get me these when I was younger. Sorry, Mom. Though, I mean, that one does turn into a dinosaur. So that's pretty sweet. What's the point of the helicopter? It's like it flies. It's a helicopter just twirls its blades and that's it. You guys were talking about some X-Men toys. So I was like, oh, I want to check these out. So I'm kind of creepily just like, oh, let me check out this other stuff while I wait for them to get done. So there's some Transformers. There's that. What was that? Borderlands, I'm guessing? I guess they got toys. That's those old 90s ones, which I used to have a ton of those. But, like I said, don't need it. Though I'd love it for nostalgia factor. This booth is, he's really hit or miss. He has some cool stuff, a lot of sports stuff. So I like to just, take a quick glance because once in a great while, he'll have magic cards. But he hasn't like 2 years. All right, and that does it. I cut off a little at the end because it was just a bunch of walking around. Nothing happened. But I like to end every flea market with a vanilla-filled churro and a Pepsi Breakfast Champions. All right, so here we go. The box fell apart, so that's useless. We got our bag here. Thankfully, got the bag. I'm going to guess there is nothing great in this, but I mean, I saw a couple of rares. Other than that, that's probably it. These are pretty dirty too, so. All right. Is there something? Just clear sleeve. No. All right. Let's see what we got here. Oh, we got some. Is that Future Sight? That's cool. Or, nope. Uncommons at least, so it's not all commons. Of course. Conflagrate, whatever. Used to be worth something, not anymore. Gruesome Encounter. Remember liking that card. Triple Hit Spirits broken and limited for M15. Got some. Was that Onslaught? Okay. Hey, maybe. Twin Strike. Cranes. Hey, already. Perfect. Best card ever right there. Oh, great. We have to. Oh, we got old Elmer there. Nice. Martyr's Tomb. Don't think that's worth anything. Got some revised. Oh, Flamekin. Elemental. I've been making an elemental deck, so could use up. Shapeshifter. Technically an elemental. Oh man, look at that. That art did not happen today. Cut 2 tethers. Spirits. Nope. If it says spirits, pretty much ignore it. Oh hey, I need this actually. Put that over there. Sweet. Like I've been making an elemental deck and trying to find commons in all my cards. Impossible. Just like forget it. I'll just buy it for 24 cents or something. Oh, here we go. You got the Jin from M15, and this was the special one that came from like the newbie decks. Same with the Nightmare, it looks like. So, boo. Boo on those. Now you got Arbiter of the Ideal. Arbiter of Ideal. What is this? Sentinel. That's not good. The bad card. I might have gotten ripped off at $7. You gotta haggle, or else you don't know what you're gonna get. Shivan Dragon. Also from the starter decks. Oh hey. Before that was reprinted, that would have been nice. That was like a really hard card to get. Then they reprinted it in one of the master sets, I think. Oh, Flying Carpet. Alright, Choke. Some Krakens. Oh, a foil Mardu Horde Chief. Hey. Foil common from a set that was opened a ton. Inkwell Leviathan. Uh-oh. I think that's it. 3 rares, and I think I saw them when I went through this, basically, or 4 rares. Oh, wait, no, there's more cards. Okay. Sleeve was throwing me off. Here we go. Troll. Alright, here we go. There we go. Grey Merchant, hey? And Star Angels, and oh, a snow-covered swamp. There you go. Would have been something if, you know, they weren't just printed. Yeah, that was pretty much a bad buy. But hey, it happens. Got a few of these. At least I only paid $7 for it, right? So that's good. All right, so.
This program brought to you by viewers like you.